Just shut my phone off. Okay. Here we go. Ready.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to a new episode of Retro Gaming Rewind with Sean, my Retro Everything podcast. And today is a very, very special one because today I have the CEO and president of Intellivision, Tommy Tallarico, and he is here with me today to answer questions from both me and you. Welcome, sir. It's a privilege.
Woo! All right. Well, thank you. Thank you so much for having me, and I appreciate it. And I'm happy and excited that you're happy and excited.
Awesome. I'm so pumped for this system. I've been just counting down for it.
Cool. Me too.
Yeah, I know. The hype is real, right?
Where are you based out of?
I'm in northern New Jersey.
Oh, New Jersey boy.
I'm like the tip.
Yeah.
High Point.
Yeah. Been there.
Yep,
done
I'm actually
that. Yeah,
close
I was born and raised in Western Massachusetts.
Oh, wow.
So, same kind of area.
Yeah.
And, being Italian, we have many a friend and family in the New Jersey, New York area.
Yeah, me
so
too.
We're always,
Irish and Italian. Yep.
yeah.
Awesome.
So
Good to hear. Cool. Yeah, it's cool where I'm at because I'm actually close to the border of both New York and Pennsylvania and Jersey. So I get the best of both,
Yeah. Well, what's that place that's it's on the water? It's a venue. I saw it, and it's like you can see Pennsylvania across the thing. But it's in Jersey, and it's a venue, and it's kind of like this outdoor kind of venue thing.
In Jersey?
Yeah, I think it's on the Jersey side.
The PNC Arts Center?
Yeah. They might have changed the name of it.
Yeah.
Before, but I saw Aerosmith there a couple times.
Yeah. Oh, I go to a ton of concerts.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're big
Cool.
into concerts here.
Awesome.
Yeah,
so,
cool.
Hit me up. Tell me what you want to know. How can I?
Yeah, we got some great questions for you.
Great. Hopefully, I got some great answers.
Yeah, I'm sure you do. Because I've been reading a lot too, and I found that your website is very informative. Also, I like the frequently asked questions, and I was just looking at that, and you do answer a lot of good questions there.
Cool.
Because I always, a lot of people ask me questions on there, and I always tell them to go on there and check that out first because you do answer a lot.
Great.
So when I watched your presentation, I was very moved by how you were saying the original release date couldn't be met, because of the pandemic and everything. And I related to that because I also lost a sister. She was handicapped in her 30s.
No way. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, my sister was handicapped as well, yeah.
In 2011, so I understand exactly what you're coming from. As far as the new release date, is there any significance to that? Like, is there any meaning behind that date, or?
Yeah, not from a personal standpoint at all, but the new date of April 15th is, this was something that we all came together.
Okay.
It's not
As
just
a
me
team.
making this decision. It not only our internal team though, but the manufacturers, our distributors, and most importantly, our retail partners. One of the big things we announced last week was, more retail partners. So not only, do we have GameStop, and again, it's important to note that we're in the stores. We're not just GameStop.com, like Atari or some other things are. We're in the store. So when you walk in a store, you see a wall of Nintendo, you see a wall of Microsoft, you see a wall of Sony, and you're going to see a wall, albeit smaller, but there's a section for Intellivision. That's so important. And so
and a lot of planning, right? I could imagine.
So much. It's unbelievable, right? To get, just GameStop alone has 3,500 stores or 3,300 stores in the U.S. But so we announced GameStop, but then we announced Walmart. Hello. We announced Best Buy. Hello. Amazon, Direct. Boom.
Huge.
And so we announced
the biggest ones.
Of the biggest, and so and we by the way, we still have a lot more to unveil as well in regards to partnerships.
That was one of my questions coming up.
Yes, more coming.
Can we hear from any possible more retailers before launch?
Yes,
because
absolutely, 100%.
now with the extension, will we be able to hear more details before the launch?
Absolutely. Lot more details. And that's why, I had 100 things I could have went over
Sure.
in that, in that event last week.
It could have kept going.
But the reality is that, we need to, because now it's been extended out 6 months, we're now 8 months.
You have more
from launch.
time.
We need to save some information, because remember, this is the most important thing to know, Sean, is that our target audience, they don't even know who we are yet. They don't even know that we exist, right? And they will a few weeks before we launch, because that's when the big advertising. Why would we spend advertising dollars now on something that's coming out 8 months from now? No one would ever do that. You don't see, you don't see ads for the PlayStation 5, do you? And that's coming out in November, supposedly, we hope.
Supposedly, right.
And so, but the important thing about that April 15th date is that it was very important for our retailers to have a big say in this new date as well, because, and their reasoning was very simple and makes total sense. They said, well, look, with Microsoft and Sony coming out November, December this year, and by the way, 80% of all video games that are sold at retail are sold in November and December and into January, because
the hardcore gaming season, holiday.
So it's huge. And they said, look, marketing's 5 times more expensive during Christmas.
Right.
There's going to be so much noise from all the hype, from all the other stuff. And they said, Tommy, you know what? We don't have anything to sell in like spring. Like we got nothing to sell. Like, and by the way, do you remember when the Nintendo Switch came out?
Yeah, March.
It was in March. It was
3rd.
right around. So this is a successful launch area. And what's great about April 15th is, well, you have Christmas, but April 15th to a lot of folks in America and Canada as well, April 15th is like Christmas part 2, because that's when you're getting your big checks back from the government.
Right.
April 15th, it's literally second Christmas to a lot of, where people have money in their account to spend.
Right.
So we love the new date, chosen by many folks. And when I said, you know what, we're looking at the calendar going, we got to get this Founders Edition, the 2,600 limited Founders Editions that sold out in under 5 hours. Oh my gosh, look at this. April 3rd, 4/3/2/1 launch. So, we love that date as well for the numeric reason.
The first thing I said to myself was, when I heard the new date, was, wow, there's a positivity to this, because they're separating themselves away from all the, the craziness.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I always said to myself, it's crazy. I understand, the marketing part of it. Everything comes out at the same time during the holidays, but look at all that dead time that games could really separate themselves with. So totally. I think you guys are actually in a perfect spot.
I mean, if we had to rethink it from the beginning, again, as I mentioned on the event, I chose that date 10/10, 3 years ago.
Yeah.
And now, but because of COVID and all this stuff, it actually is going to turn out to probably be a better date for us in the retail, in the sense of, making sure everything's great, having more games available, brushing up on everything.
Sure.
I mean, it ends up being a better date for us in the end. So, all things happen for a reason. I'm a big believer in fate, and and I think
everything's
all
not
happened
for a reason.
Yeah.
Now all right, so that I'm going to jump to my other question. I was going to save it for later, but now that we're on that topic, now let's just say that it did come out during the original release date.
Okay.
Were you worried about the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, or did you feel that you were separated from that being a retro console?
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, the question. And I don't even consider us a retro console. I mean, it's a retro name, and 20% of our library is what I call retro reimagined.
Reimagined,
but
right.
really it's all about the other 80% of the library is all brand new, family fun, simple experiences. But I'll answer your question more direct to say, we're very different from Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, and
more
PC.
family oriented.
We're very much focused on family, focused on multiplayer. Every game has single player, but every game also has co-op or versus modes.
Couch co-op.
Well, right? And so we are very different. Sean, there's 200 million hardcore gamers in the world, yet 2.5 to 3 billion people that play casual and simple games every day on mobile. So that means, Sean, less than 7% of the people that play video games in the world are playing them on home consoles or PCs. So I'm not interested in fighting over that 7% that PC goes for, Sony, Microsoft, Nintendo. Now Google has thrown in
Stadia, cloud gaming.
You got Atari coming out with their thing. So all of those folks are fighting over those 200 mil. What we're doing is we're going to fight for the 2.5 billion that have been completely ignored by, more of those hardcore, type of system, which is why they don't own them. Right.
Right.
And so in my heart of hearts, I don't believe that the audience that we're going for, we're not in competition with those folks. Now, that being said, again, I'm not going to, I'm always 100% upfront and honest. I wear my heart on my sleeve. You always know what I'm thinking and how I feel. Now, look, the reality is that, when you release around another console, every website, every gaming website, but even the, like, let's say, for example, we're going to be on the Tonight Show with Jimmy Fallon as an example, or Conan, right? Yeah. Now, if we come out around the same time as them, we may lose that opportunity because Sony, because Microsoft is going to be on that week that we wanted to get on, or that month. And they're not going to do 3 different consoles within 3 different weeks. Right. And so spacing ourselves, we're in the same industry, but we're not the same audience generally. Now, do I think that hardcore gamers will eventually pick up an Amico, as maybe their second or third console? I do. I do believe that, because
I can see that also in my comments of my videos. Like, I'll be playing a PlayStation game or an Xbox game, and I do get comments and saying, I've been watching your Amico coverage. I'm interested in that. That looks cool. Or like I'm getting my little 5-year-old into gaming. This is perfect for him.
It's the perfect system. Perfect.
And it's going to get him into gaming.
Yes. And you don't have to worry about blood and violence and sexual
I don't
content.
have to worry about him picking a game, and I have to check out what he's playing, because I know no matter what it is, it's going to be fine for him.
That point alone there, Sean, that point alone, the fact that parents don't have to monitor or even worry about
it's a big deal.
Imagine, and people don't give enough credit for that, right? Because a lot of hardcore
That's the
gamers,
first thing that I took from it.
There you go. Imagine, and you're a gamer. Imagine the middle America Christian mom with 2 kids hearing about this for the first time in Walmart and seeing that and learning that. That to her is such a, and we know we have all the market research and focus groups tests. I can't tell you how important that is. One of the check boxes that wake people up automatically right out of the gate to go, wait, what? Oh my God, this is awesome. Okay.
I don't have to worry about setting parental settings or everything is to go.
No DLC, no
microtransactions,
no
having their credit card on file. Right.
All games are $9.99 or less. I mean, that's another thing, right? People will look at our games and go, oh my God, they look like crap, this and that. Look, we're not selling $60 games.
Exactly.
We're not selling $20 games. These are simple, easy, fun. no matter what skill level you are.
Yep.
You can jump in and play a game similar to what the Wii was. Imagine the Wii.
I always say that on my podcast, right? The Wii.
So the Wii was $249 when it originally came out, and that was almost 15 years ago.
Yeah.
What our proposition is, here's a machine for the same price 15 years later, $249, but 2 controllers and 6 free games on board, and the ability to download a free app and hook up to 8 mobile devices as well. So again, imagine you got the Wii 15 years ago and you got 2 controllers and 6 free games, right? That's
and the price of the games are excellent.
And all of the games are $9.99 or less digitally. I mean, come on, right? It's you know, because people look at the price. Well, people look at the price and they go, "Oh my God, it's almost the same as a Switch. It's more expensive than a Switch Lite." And look, you know, again, it's a different proposition altogether. But the value, do you know it's the first system in 30 years that has come with 2 separate complete controllers? The last system was the Super Nintendo.
First thing I said, right?
Crazy,
it's like unheard.
Right?
It's crazy that in this day and age you would think that's unheard of, but it is.
And it is, and no one else is doing it except us. And again, I'll show you something really fun, really quick. We have so here's the controller right here.
Nice.
And you can see that you know, that we have the LED on the lights. The buttons light up as well. You can see that. It's a speaker, a microphone. You have you know, a gyroscope and an accelerometer.
And you did some good durability testing too.
Oh, you like that video, right? Here we are showing off the you know, the gyroscope and the accelerometer.
Nice.
Again, color capacitive touch screen.
That screen is so sharp too.
It's super sharp. And super quick. And then again, you can see the kind of, you know, 64 points of articulation on the pad.
Yeah.
And you know, you can hear
volume,
the speakers and stuff too. But so again, you get this, right? And you get 2 of these, and we're going to sell these separately as well.
That was actually one of my questions, if we wanted to buy, because I was reading that you could get a mobile app also.
And there's the mobile app that you download for free, because everything I just mentioned that this has, speaker, microphone, color touchscreen, accelerometer, force feedback.
Right, all on your phone.
Gyroscope. It's all on your phone as well too. Now, is this a way better controller to be playing? Absolutely.
Right, the ergonomics and everything.
Yeah, but for some of the simple party game stuff or some of the card games, if you got 5, 6, 7 friends over, we're not going to make you buy 5, 6 more controllers just for that experience.
But you will have the option, right?
You'll have the option.
Okay.
And you'll have the color options as well.
I was going to ask.
So, yes. So you'll be able to, you know, maybe you don't like the vintage wood grain as the full console. Maybe you like the black one. But you can get a vintage wood grain controller if you'd like. Or a red one, or a white, or a black one, or whatever. So you can mix and match.
And they'll eventually have the price information out for them as well?
Yes. Yeah. We're targeting, we're trying to target. Now, you know, to give you an example, a Switch Joy-Con is $79, right?
Right.
So we want to be underneath that, even though we have color touchscreen and all.
I was going to say, that's got a lot of technology to it.
A lot of technology. If we can get the thing around 59.
Oh wow, that'd be
59, maybe 69 if it's like major retail or whatever. But I'd love to keep it $20 under the Switch.
Now, will they be available at launch?
Negotiating with our retailers now.
Would they be available at launch with the console?
Yeah, absolutely. Separately available at launch, and we have a number of accessories that we'll be coming out with as well, that we'll be announcing at a later date, probably later this year.
Nice.
Including a type of physical media as well, a form of physical media.
That's one of my big questions on here.
Yeah.
So I wanted to talk about, we'll segue into that.
Sure.
The physical media, what format? Because I couldn't really find out a lot of information as far as the physical format.
Right. The reason you haven't found out info on that is because we haven't released it yet.
Okay.
and so that's one of the things that we're kind of holding back.
I'm a big physical collector.
Me too, right? Me too.
I'll get every one.
Yeah.
I need them for my shelf.
And what we're going to do is we're going to do something very special. We're doing something that no one's really done ever before.
Wow.
And we want to be able to show people and announce some things all at once. So we're going to do a special kind of announcement video and live thing like we did before. And we'll probably be doing that by the end of the year. But we really want to kind of make that its own special thing, which is why I don't want to exactly spill the beans right now. But
that'll also
be cool.
That'll also tell us what physical games are coming out, because not every one will be physical, right?
Right. So and that'll be determined, Sean, by like initially we're shooting for around 30 titles on launch.
Right.
And we're probably going to have around 10 physical media. But if we find out that, like some of the physical media we definitely want to have on launch will be stuff like Evel Knievel, Moon Patrol, Cloudy Mountain,
Astro Smash, or
Astro Smash is free on the system.
Okay.
So Astro Smash, skiing, cornhole, Farkle, Shark. Those are the 5 of the 6
the
that we've announced. You get those for free. So we didn't really want to do a physical media for those.
Okay.
Because everyone will have them for free. But things like Night Stalker and Moon Patrol. So we're going to have like the 10
special
big,
packaging,
awesome games, special packages. It'll be super cool. But if we find that some smaller game, let's say Liar's Dice or something, or maybe our Monster Spades game, if we see that like going crazy, it's like, oh, well, let's do a physical media for that one as well. So we're going to let the sales, we're going to assume that we know which titles people will like, and we'll do market research as well.
Yeah.
But if we see something skyrocketing, we'll make that into physical media as well. So we're not opposed to saying anything's off the table,
That's kind of like what I had written down. I basically said, if the sales are really good for physical, is it possible for more physical releases in the future? Yeah, absolutely. Because I know, especially on my channel, collectors are a huge part of it.
Huge,
Yeah, that's awesome. That's great to hear. And off of that, are you a collector of games and collecting retro games yourself?
Are you kidding me? Look behind me. These are all Intellivision games.
I was setting you up.
But one thing you'll notice, do you see the shininess on all these?
Yeah.
These are all in original shrink wrap form. So I go to the next level. And But if you're curious about seeing a part of my collection, I have probably over 100 consoles. Now I collect Generation 1 and Generation 2. So that's stuff from 1972 to like 1990, let's say.
Okay.
A little bit of Generation 3.
Yeah, I'm always out hunting for stuff.
Yeah, mostly like strange Pong type of machines that no one's ever heard of. And Generation 2, where Intellivision sat with Atari and Coleco, there's some really great stuff from around the world that people in the U.S. didn't even have any. Like there's some stuff out of Russia that people had no clue about that's just amazing. So I collect a lot of really rare stuff, and I collect it all in mint condition. So, but I'm more of a guy from the 70s and 80s.
Yeah, oh yeah. I like that picture that was in the presentation, that last picture of you.
Oh, when I was a kid.
That was cool. I like that.
My Intellivision.
Wow.
That's the thing, Sean, there's a faction of people out there who dislike me and who dislike the fact that I'm, that I'm kind of out front and always talking about it. And I'm very passionate about this stuff, similar to like Steve Jobs was about Apple, or like Elon Musk is about his.
And you could see it, like I always tell people about your presentations, you can see it right away.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the thing. So it's like, I'm not just some suit CEO that's giving you talking points here today. I'm being real. I'm being
and you
honest.
can feel it, you know?
And that's the thing. So, again, like some of those, folks that, not to compare myself to those guys, but in regards to having a lot of passion about what we're making and bringing to the world. Yeah, I have as much passion for Intellivision as Elon Musk does about SpaceX.
Right.
And it's very different. It's a different look than, the president of whatever corporation in the US. A lot of people, are just corporate, bottom line, sell the
business,
stock. Yeah.
Reading off a paper.
Yeah, and we're not that. We're the opposite of that.
And it shows, like I said. You have that enthusiasm, and that also gets you excited for the product.
Yeah, well, yeah. I was going to say, hopefully, my excitement will rub off
also
on you. And
the down to earth aspect of it too, like the videos you make. That stuff is great.
Yeah, we don't take ourselves too seriously, too, right? I mean, there's stuff we're serious about. Don't get me wrong. But we just want to have fun. We want to bring fun back to the gaming industry. When we did our funny videos, you mentioned the stress testing things. And, and even like during my presentation last week, when I had all of the things on the table.
Yep, that was my favorite part.
They're like, should we write a script? Should we tell you what to say? I'm like, you know what? Let me just turn the cameras on. Let's just go.
Just go with it.
Like people, and I think people appreciate that and recognize that because it's real. And when I was doing our TV shows, Electric Playground and Judgment Day, 25 years ago, and we were on air for 12 years, me and Vic. When we were doing those shows, it was the same thing. We weren't reading off a script. We're like, turn the camera on and we'll fight about video games, and people will appreciate it because it's real. And that goes a long way.
And they can tell it's not scripted too.
You can tell it's not scripted. Yeah. Right? It was one of the only shows on G4 that wasn't.
I love G4. That was awesome.
It's coming back.
I know. That's exciting. That's great. I had a question about the Karma Gaming Engine. If you could give an example of that in action.
Yeah, so Karma Gaming Engine, it's not like a real engine, like
it's like a term, right?
And things like that. It's a philosophy, right? It's remember when Sega had their blast processing, right?
Yeah.
It was, but when we say our Karma Engine, what we really mean is it's a philosophy to say, because I look at modern games, Sean, and you take a game like Fortnite, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Great friends with the people who made the game and who still make the game and direct the game. And you take it, but that's a very steep uphill climb, right?
Yeah, learning curve.
A non-gamer to jump into that game and to get on a level where they feel like they're accomplishing something will take weeks, not days, not hours, and not minutes. Certainly not minutes, right? But it takes weeks.
Sure.
And so, and when you do a lot of the market research and focus groups that we do, and we ask people who play games on mobile but who don't play PlayStation, Xbox, or Switch, and we say, why? What are the reasons why you don't? You'll always hear the same thing. You know what? It's too complex. It's too complicated to get into. I feel dumb.
It turns them off.
The controller, all those buttons freak me out.
Yep.
And then when I try to play with my kids, I'm just like fodder. Yeah. I'm just like, I'm never good. I'm never like, why me, getting beat in a video game isn't fun all the time for the person who's getting beat in the video game, right? And they never feel like they're on the same level as their kids or whatever. And so that's what Karma Gaming is. Karma Gaming Engine means in all of our games, I want there to be a grandparent who's never played a video game. I want them to be able to pick up a controller and have a legitimate shot at beating a person who's played that game for the last 6 months, right? So you asked for examples. I'll give you a couple real world examples. I'll bring up Pong. So we're redoing Pong. Now, Sean, if you come over my house and you've never played Amico and we're playing a game, typically in a normal situation, you'll have 0% chance of beating me. in a normal situation, because I've been playing it for a year and you've never played it before, right?
Right.
Not on Amico. So Pong, let's say, if I score on you 3 times in a row, my paddle shrinks and yours gets bigger.
Interesting. Okay.
Right? So if I'm playing my mom and she's really terrible at it, but now she's built up a paddle that's like half the screen, and I'm all of a sudden playing on this little tiny thing, I have to be super sharp. My mom can start to beat me now, like because of, and so it's this real time on the fly handicap
that's cool.
system. Now, I'll give you another example, because it's not just like Mario Kart. Whoever's in last place, they get more speed. That's not what we're talking about here. I'll give you another example on Shark.
Okay.
On Shark, the person who's in last place, their controller buzzes, and if they look down, it tells them we have 3 clams or 3 treasure chests or whatever in the level, and they will open randomly and have a bonus. Like your fish will grow, you'll get more points, you'll get whatever. And so what happens is whoever's in last place, their controller buzzes, you look down, and it will show you, and only you who is in last place, it shows you which clam or treasure chest, which color or shape is going to have, you get a little like 5-second or 10-second head start on where that thing's coming out. So, and again, this can only be accomplished on Amico because you have each individual player has a screen, and we can telegraph that information
That's cool.
to them. They
That's
look
cool.
down, oh, doo-dee-doo-dee-doo, I'm going over here, no one mind me, I'm in last place, and then, oh, the blue treasure chest, boom, it opens, and bam, they're right there on it,
That's cool. I like that.
Yeah. Just a few examples.
That's actually awesome. And that'll be pretty much with every game featured on Amico?
Not necessarily. Like, things like card games, for example,
right?
Or dice games. We don't want to like load the dice. That's not fair. That becomes not fun, because then it becomes cheating, right?
Right.
So if in a dice game, if you make a bad decision or you collect, in Farkle, if you collect dice,
right, that's on you.
That's on you, right? So it's not every single game, but we're trying to do it in as many games where we feel it's the right thing to do.
That's cool.
Yeah.
And
by the way, one last thing. Sorry.
Go ahead.
You can turn that off and on in certain games as well, too. So if in Pong you don't want to do that, you can just turn it off in the menu screen.
Okay. Interesting. Yeah. As far as the controllers.
Yes.
Could you explain like what would be an advantage to like say like for one of the pack-in games
Yeah. So I'll give you an example. It's kind of a wow moment that people have, and it's something so easy and so simple. But for example, one of the pack-in games is a dice game, very worldwide popular dice game called Farkle, right?
Right.
So when it's your turn, your controller buzzes, and you see the dice fall into your cup, if you will, on screen. And when the dice fall and when they're hitting the walls, it's buzzing as the dice hits, and you're hearing the dice sounds come out of the controller. And then when you shake it, when you shake the controller, again, you're feeling the dice as they're hitting the sides of the wall. You're hearing them come out of the thing. And then you throw the dice on screen, and you see the dice run from your, go from the controller screen
to the screen,
fly out onto the big screen. Now, again, this is something that you cannot do with any other system, any other controller. And it's something so simple that you'd think like, is that really going to like get people excited? Again, I can show you a video of grandparents, non-gamers, just sitting there going, that is the coolest thing ever. Just that one little thing, like, wow.
It adds to it.
Yeah, and it's not like, oh, I'm pushing a button to roll.
Right,
it's like
it brings life to the game.
You're bringing the accelerometer, the gyroscope, the touch screen, the mic, the speaker, all into it. and into the game experience in a very unique way. So that's one example with the Pack-In game.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
I mean, also we have a game that we haven't announced yet. The final Pack-In game
right
uses the microphone on the controller as well in a very, very unique way that no one's ever done before. That's exciting. And then, of course, for cornhole, you'll see a strap on here where you put the strap on. And then, now you hold it and the trigger button's here or whatever, or you could hold it like this if you wanted to as well. But now for cornhole, you're using it like a Wii controller,
right.
If you will, like you used in Wii bowling.
It's bowling, right.
Yeah. But again, cornhole, bowling, shuffleboard, darts, these are just some of the things where you're going to be able to, where it's more motion controlled for those recreational type sports games, which were so popular on the Wii. And we're really doubling down and focusing a lot on those type of games as well.
Will there be actual games that require you to stand as opposed to sitting, or?
No, not necessarily. No, because it's not, what's one of the differences between, Amico motion controls and the Wii. Of course, if you remember it, the Wii had the RF the IR infrared bar that you had to put on.
The sensor bar.
Yeah, and that was for positioning exactly. So it was reading where the controller was in space, and you were able to point on the screen. Ours doesn't do that. Right?
Okay.
So, because we don't have the bar and we didn't want the extra expense, and it's not really, again,
right. And plus it has to work with the app on the smartphone, right?
We want it to work with the app on the smartphone. So that's one thing. So in our world, doing this, if you're standing or sitting, doesn't really make a difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then if you could explain the interactive guidance lighting, how does that affect games?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, I'll give you a real world example. So
'cause that's on the controller, right?
Well, it's on the controller and the system itself.
Right.
And the buttons.
That's cool.
And the screen can change colors as well.
Oh, wow.
So I'll give you an example, like a really simple example. Let's say we were playing 4 players and I'm the red car.
Okay.
And this is going to light up, my whole controller is going to light up red.
Oh, cool.
And you're the blue controller, so you're going to light up blue. And your wife controller is green, and she's lit up green. So, and when it's your turn, or grandma's turn, or whatever, and she's the green player, her controller is going to shake. It's going to light up green, and the console lights up green. Right?
That's cool.
So that's just like a really common basic way to because again, when we do our research and you ask non-gamers about the complexity of, they're like, I don't know when it's my turn. I don't know. Like, I don't even know when my player A go. Like, I don't know.
Right. That happens a lot. And they're staring at the screen and they're like, do I go?
Grandma, go. It's your turn. How many times have you said that?
It happens a lot.
It happens a lot. We're taking those basic things. So that's one small thing. But let me get into the fun stuff.
Okay.
One of the games we announced was Bomb Squad last week.
Yeah.
Now imagine where everybody's in a room and Amico, the console, is the bomb that you're trying to defuse, and you're using the colors on the system. And you're using, the colors here and the color combinations. So let's say, this button was lit up blue and this one's lit up red and the bottom one's lit up green. And it's different on everybody's controllers.
Oh, that's cool.
And everybody has to hit the green button at the same time. On your mark, get set, go. And everybody hits the green button.
Oh, wow.
That clips the green wire on the screen or whatever, so there's so many different.
So lighting is like what's a big part of that game then.
Exactly. Lighting is, but the force feedback is like, everybody, I want you to touch the disc when your controller vibrates.
Shakes,
and
yeah.
you're sitting there waiting for it. And everybody's got to do it at the same time. And if somebody fails, boom, whatever.
Cool.
So these types of things. The other thing, imagine in like an RPG or like our Cloudy Mountain game. Imagine if you had to open up certain chests or certain doors based on, like, let's say this whole controller was lit up a rainbow of colors.
Okay.
And in order to open the door, there was a color combination that you either had to get or figure out within the level, or maybe that the main level, that the main console was throwing out at you. Like it said red, green, blue, purple. And then, did you guys see that? It did red, green, blue, purple. No, it was red, purple, blue, green. No, red, green, blue, purple. Okay, well, let's try to open the door. And you hit the red area, and then the purple area, and the green area, and the blue area.
That's cool.
And it's like, oh my gosh. So the system is helping you understand how to open doors or to get into different areas. And again, it's always a group discussion. Or imagine if you had to make a potion or a spell, and you're using the touch screen to mix things, and you're using the colors to match, and
that's cool.
So many possibilities.
Wow. Awesome. Now you said you upgraded the internal storage from 16 to 32 gigabyte.
Yeah. How great is that? Right.
That's awesome.
I mean, and the important thing for people to know, because people say, well, 32 gig isn't really that much though, in this modern day and age. The thing to remember
the
is
size of the games, right?
The size of the games are anywhere from 300 to 500 megabytes. That's about average.
So under a gig.
But it might get up to one game might get up to a gig, a really complex thing with a lot of music.
But then you also have SD storage, right?
And then you have an micro SD on the back. Yeah. So at any time you want to upgrade to 64, 128, 256 gig, that's on you. You throw it in there. But just the 32 alone, because you have to include the operating system in there as well for the machine. But you'll be able to store anywhere from 30 to 50, 60 games just on the internal memory. And that's pretty amazing, right?
Yeah. And is there a max capacity on SD cards for that? Because I know they go way up there, but.
No, I mean, I know one of our engineers was saying that you can get up to, because I think the micro SDs go up to 256, or do they go to a terabyte now? I don't know if the micro SDs.
They final 500 gig and then
do they? Terabyte. Yeah. So I don't want to say something that's not true, right? But I know we're 256. I'm not sure about 500. I'd have to ask my engineer and get back to you on that. Because this stuff's coming out like all the time. This new stuff. Yeah. So.
Now, when you demoed the skiing game, you showed actually a glimpse of the UI.
Yeah.
Now, is that going to be pretty much what we're going to see when we get our hands on the system?
That's the idea behind it. Of each game is a globe that's an animated globe that you can see the gameplay on the screen.
Okay.
With the thing. That concept is part of our UI, or part of our user interface.
Okay. What is that going to be, like an underlying operating system?
Well, that's our main menu. That's going to be our menu in our store. Is all going to be based around that way of viewing things, because we didn't want to just put text and a icon like every mobile game, like. Even Netflix and Amazon Video, it's just it's pictures and text. We wanted to be, and then if you want to check out the trailer, you go and you have to hit a button and go in there and do this.
Right.
We wanted to take away all that mystery and remind people, like, look, as you pick the games, you're seeing the games play in real time. Well, you're seeing the videos of
like a preview of it,
pre-rendered preview. Yeah. Playing immediately, and you saw it as I was switching the things.
I was
playing immediately. So you get to, oh, wow, this looks good. And we're doing that in the store as well.
I was just going to ask.
Yes.
So you'll have your installed games that you have plus the 6 pack-in games, and then the store will be separate but set up similar.
Well, the store is going to be a part of it, actually. Yeah. So yeah, here's your library. But if you quickly wanted to, here's your 3 games, your 3 sports games that you own, but why not add 10 more top sellers
so they can see what's available,
so that they can see what's available immediately without having to, do another step,
Okay, cool.
So yeah. And again, but if you wanted to get more detailed, because we don't want to list every single sports game, but here's the top sellers available at your fingertips. If you have room in your, in that library, then yeah, we'll just put them right there for you. And if you like it, you see it, you just click one button and boom, it shows up. And now you can play that game.
Cool. Awesome. Future color options.
To finalize that though, but that thing that you saw, the concept is for our UI, but the actual graphics and stuff, that was placeholder graphics that we've had in there for a year. So even though our new UI is different looking, we didn't want to show that because we want to do a special video just
revealing that
and going through all of that. So we reverted back to the one that we've been using for a year as a placeholder. But the idea is there, but the concept is the graphics, the visuals are different. And a lot better.
Okay. And future color options maybe in the future, or you pretty much set on...
What was that? Sorry.
Are you pretty much set on the color options that are there now, or it could be more in the future?
No, we're doing all sorts of very cool licensing deals. So yeah, right now there's going to be 5 models available.
Right.
There's the Glacier White and the Graphite Black. Those are our base, standard models that'll be everywhere. Those are $249.
And then the purple, right?
$249. And then our 3 special edition models, because we're spending more money on creating those and making them look even nicer. That's the Vintage Wood Grain, the GTO Red, and the Galaxy Purple. And so right now the Galaxy Purple is only available for pre-order on GameStop.
Right.
We're going to be announcing where the GTO Red will be going.
Okay.
And these are all kind of timed exclusives as well. So they might change throughout the thing. Maybe Walmart has it for these 6 months and they've added a $25 Amico, game shop card where you can buy games. And then like for example, the Galaxy Purple right now, Galaxy Purple is $279, but GameStop is selling it for $299.
Right, I saw that.
With a $25 gift card.
Right.
So the reality is it's $274, which is even cheaper than $279, right? So different stores will have different bundles, and that's kind of a typical and normal to the video game industry. Costco Switch is very different from the Switch you can buy at GameStop.
Exactly, right. Exclusive
bundles and what they offer. But yeah, we want to have different colors though. We want green, we want pink, we want blue, we want, an earthworm.
And then getting the different controllers will be cool too.
The different controllers. We want an Earthworm Jim model. We want a Mattel Hot Wheels model. We want a Sesame Street model. We want a baseball model. There's so many things you could do, right?
I know, right? Wow. Awesome. And that leads me to the design of the Amico. What inspired that? Because I think it's like one of the awesomest looking consoles.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. I mean, it's very different, right? I mean,
it is.
I love the Atari Jaguar. I thought that always looked pretty.
One of my favorite.
Pretty cool, right? It looks so cool.
Oh man.
And so when I look at all of the the boxes that are out now, they're basically rectangles with cool vents, and that's cool. But the inspiration was, I'm a big Ferrari fan.
Oh, hell yeah.
Look at the curves of the Ferrari. and Italian sports cars.
Sure.
And so that was something, but also we wanted something that was friendly to non-gamers, friendly to moms. So again, getting curves as opposed to sharp edges is very important when you
it's
start
like very rounded.
When you start to look into the psychology about what it is, and why people think about shapes and colors and sizes and things like that. So we wanted something like we could have made the thing really small as well. Like we could have made, like you think about the Ouya, and it was like this little tiny block that almost
or
hung off your
GameCube
TV, or the GameCube. We wanted something that was a little more low profile, nice curves. And, it's funny, people who, dislike the look of the machine will say, well, it looks like looks like a takeout box, or it looks like something you'd buy at Bed Bath and Beyond, like it's a foot massager or so, foot bath or something. And to that I say, exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Because who's our target audience? Those moms who do go shopping at Bed Bath and Beyond, who do look of a baby monitor,
right,
or a foot massager,
catches their eye,
or something like that. Was that?
It catches their eye.
It catches your eye, like, oh, that's something I'm familiar with. It's not like some spaceship looking thing. You know, if I was doing the console just for me, I'd make the thing look like a freaking Lamborghini. Don't get me wrong, right? But so what we have here is something that's appealing, very, very appealing to women and families, and that folks like me and you might think is very cool too, because it's so unique and different, and something that we're not, used to.
It's not something you see all the time.
Right. It's unique.
Yeah, it definitely is. And it's functional too, because it charges also, right? The controllers.
And it's a docking bay for 2 controllers. And imagine if you bought 2 more controllers as well, and just me and you were playing. So we'd be playing on our 2 controllers, and we could have the other 2 docked in the thing charging as well too, if we wanted. So
that was actually another question I was going to ask. Right. Oh, okay. That's cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And a question for you: do you play any current systems?
Oh yeah. I'm more of a PlayStation guy.
Okay.
I've always been. I mean, I play PlayStation and Switch are probably my 2 main ones.
Cool.
That I'm playing now.
Cool.
I say PlayStation more so than the Switch. I love
good exclusives.
I like the Formula. I'm a big Formula One fan, so I play the Formula One 2020. I have one of those sit-down
steering wheels,
moving carts and force feedback, and I get it going a little crazy there, like it's like a simulator. But I also love games like Uncharted and God of War, and Tomb Raider and Red Dead Redemption.
Oh, awesome.
And so those are so I really enjoy those type of third person action adventure styles. Shadow of the Colossus. So a lot of the stuff that I love is exclusive on the PlayStation. You can play
definitely.
Red Dead on Xbox and other things, but a lot of the stuff that I love is
the first party titles.
I play that a lot, and I like their indie scene as well. They have a lot of really high quality indie stuff.
Yeah, they got a really good indie scene going on.
Yeah, and as well as the Switch does as well, but the Switch has a lot more shovelware, I feel, on there. It's a little hard in the eShop to go through. There's so much stuff.
To filter it out.
Yeah. So that I find that a little, whereas with Sony, there's less stuff, and I think there's less quality stuff. And that's kind of what we're trying to accomplish with the Miko as well, where everything we do is curated. And we're more about quality as opposed to quantity.
Now, do you have like a set goal, say by the end of 2021, for as how many games you want in the store?
Yeah.
Like, are you aiming for a number?
I think if we had, 60 to 70 games by Christmas 2021, I think that'd be really cool.
Okay.
We're shooting for about 30 or so on launch. And then we want to do a new game every 7 to 10 days.
Okay.
So, add in 9 more months, so another 30 or 50 games there by the end of the year. That would be pretty
Okay.
cool. So, 60, 70
That's
games. I'd be happy
that's
with
good.
that. Yeah.
And 30 games at launch. That's great. That's
That's
more than enough.
amazing, right? Not a lot of consoles have done that either.
Especially now. It seems like less and less.
I know, right? And
Wow.
remember, every one of those games is couch co-op experience. Again, and I love Sony, I love Microsoft, I love Nintendo, I love them all.
Yeah, right.
But
Me too.
how many couch co-op games are going to be available on launch this Christmas with the Xbox Series X and the PlayStation 5? How many?
Right.
Maybe we'll get one. I don't know. I don't even know.
Exactly.
So with us, it's like every game is like that. And again, you can see the kind of the difference in our approach and where we don't really feel we're competition from those. Look, I'm going to get a PlayStation 5. I don't think that hardcore gamers are going to be like, you know what? I saved up for an Xbox, but I'm going to get this Amico instead. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. For the hardcore gamer, we'll be their second or third machine that they pull out when their non-gaming friends come over, or they want to have a, fun, just like the Wii was 14, 15 years ago.
Good for parties, right?
Great for parties.
Yep. And I was going to ask you also about demo units to try out at kiosks, like at GameStop.
Yes, absolutely.
How close to launch?
Well, we would probably within a few weeks or so, I would imagine.
Okay.
Probably that 4, 3, 2, 1 launch would be a great time to
get them out there.
Put all that stuff in the stores and malls.
So actually go get our hands on one and try it out.
That's our target. That's our goal. But again, with COVID and all the craziness, you never know. I mean,
will there be any physical media at launch?
Yes,
of any
absolutely.
Titles? Oh, wow.
Yeah, we want to have at least 10 if possible. And we already have the space, the space at places like GameStop is already set aside for us.
Awesome. Great to hear. All right, we're going to take a couple viewer questions.
Okay.
All right, we got one from Carl. If I delete a game to free up storage space and decide to reinstall it at a later date, does our in-game progress save?
Yes.
Oh, awesome.
And the other thing,
so there's like a cloud-based system then.
Well, no, it's just that it can save your save state on the internal memory, because that's a very small.
I was going to say very small, right?
Yeah. And so we would store that locally, in your memory. But the idea is that we really don't want to see a time when people ever have to delete a game off their hard drive. Again, these are small games. You'll get 30 to 50 games probably on the internal memory.
You can expand it.
And then, so many people have like 16 gig micro just lying around. Throw that back there. We don't see too many people having to delete games at all. But yes, if they do, we'll keep that save state locally.
Okay, great. Thank you. Marks asks, can we buy additional controllers? You've answered that.
Yes, on launch, you'll be able to buy
That's
additional
awesome.
controllers. Yeah.
Tammy, will we ever see a yearly subscription service like a PlayStation Plus?
We're not doing that on launch. If we can build up our library where it makes sense and people are asking for that, then we're not opposed to that at all.
And what would something like that include if you did?
I mean, we would just let everyone play all the games.
Okay.
Every game
like a Game Pass
or something. Yeah, something like that, right? Again, obviously certain games and certain licenses have to be dealt with. So, again, this is just I'm thinking of this off the cuff in my imagination in a perfect world. But until you start putting pencils and pens and spreadsheets together. But yeah, I mean, I would think it would similar to like what Nintendo does now, probably.
Okay.
Here you can have all these games and then maybe you feature new games every month or something. that would be that we're not opposed to that, but
Okay.
we would have to get a big, we'd have to get a big catalog together, and people
Yeah.
would have to want it.
And Matt Star Games asks, will the Amico store have demos of games to try out, like trial versions?
Not the store, but you are able. I can take my controller, Sean. I can go over your house and all the games I bought.
Okay.
I connect my controller to your screen. I dock it, tap it, whatever, and now we can play all of the games that I've purchased. We can now play them on your machine. So
That's cool.
Really, the idea of sharing in person is really important to us, and word of mouth and this and that. But giving small demos. See, our games are so small. Like, we're not 40-hour experiences, and they're not $60, $70 games. So, and like I said, you'll be able to see the videos in there. And we also have star ratings on all of our games as well. So similar to Amazon, when you buy the product, you're able to rate it. And so you'll see. So, again, we have nothing to hide. If there's a game in there that's 3 stars and you're kind of like iffy on it, we're able to, say, hey, my friend has that game. Come on over. I want to try that game out before I play it,
Yeah. Okay. And Rama Raju, he has, I think, 2 questions here.
Okay.
I heard about the internal memory expansion from 16 to 32, which is great. My question is, how many games on average fits the internal memory? I think you kind of answered that, right?
Yeah, we're between 30 and 50, I would imagine.
Okay. And you have worked on more games than anyone. What is the best advice that you could give to aspiring amateur gaming developers who want to work in the gaming industry?
That's a fantastic question. I'm glad that's brought up. So there's the Independent Game Developers Association, the IGDA. Join that. It's International Game Developers Association, IGDA. But they have a whole independent, faction of that. Go to meetings. It's all about networking. Learn Unity, or Game Maker, or whatever. Or if you want to get into the 3D stuff and the Unreal Engine, I mean, that's a little tougher because you need
the Unreal Engine,
many artists and to make things look really amazing. But learn Unity or Game Maker. And then network with people. Go to the Game Developers Conference. When it comes up again at next year in March. Right. It was canceled this year. Meet the people who are doing what you want to do, and network with people. And that's my my best piece of advice.
Great advice. Yeah, I did a little bit in college. I actually was messing with Maya, the program Maya.
Yeah, of course,
and
our program.
3D Studio Max. Fun stuff.
Yeah.
We were doing some cool stuff in that program.
Awesome.
I guess that looks like it for the viewer questions. I want to really thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure.
Yeah, well, thank you so much.
Great information, Tommy. I loved it.
Well, I appreciate you having me on. And
anytime.
Let's do this again. Closer to launch.
I was going to say maybe in April during launch would be great time. Because I'm going to have like a big Amico celebration.
Even before that, we'll do it at the beginning of next year, because we'll have so much more to talk about and so much more that would have been released and a lot more questions. But please, for everyone watching, please sign up to our mailing list on IntellivisionAmico.com and go to our Facebook or Twitter if you're on that. Yeah. But more importantly, our YouTube channel. Subscribe to the
definitely.
Because that's when you get the really cool stuff. But the most important thing is our mailing list. You'll get the info first. We just sent out an email today where we got, we gave 20% off all of the merchandise on our store.
Awesome.
So we're always doing cool, fun stuff like that.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I always direct everybody over there because it's just a great place and there's so much information. And like I said, you guys are so down to earth and you have just the greatest videos. And everybody remembers them.
Thank you. Yeah, that they do.
Yep.
Awesome, Sean. Well, thank you so much.
No problem.
Appreciate it.
Anytime. Like I said, you're welcome back anytime. I'm looking
Rockin'.
forward to the system.
Heck yeah. Thank you.
Take care, okay?
Cool. Bye.
All right, bye-bye.